Get predictions with REST requests. Learning objectives. After completing this unit, you'll be able to describe what's required to access Einstein Prediction Service from a REST client, create a connected app to manage authentication for your REST API requests, use your REST client to interact with the Einstein Prediction Service. Introduction. Now that your model is deployed in Salesforce, you can use Einstein Prediction Service to get predictions using your favorite REST client. Before you begin, the CRM Analytics-enabled DE org that you signed up for in the previous unit gives you everything you need to complete the steps in this unit. However, after you complete this module, the following prerequisites are required to interact with Einstein Prediction Service using a REST client: CRM Analytics Plus license or Einstein Predictions license, both of which are available for an extra cost. A user account with the View Einstein Discovery Recommendation system permission. Your favorite REST client for submitting requests and handling results. In this unit, we use instructions and example screenshots for the Postman app, desktop version. However, the tasks for interacting with Einstein Prediction Service resources are similar across most REST clients, so you're welcome to use a different tool and follow along using comparable steps. To get the Postman desktop app, go to www.postman.com and navigate to the Postman app download page. Note: the instructions in this unit were tested with the Postman desktop version. Postman Web, which requires special setup instructions for Salesforce, has not been approved for use with this Trailhead module. Access to a managed app in Salesforce that authorizes REST API requests from your REST client. To create a connected app in Salesforce, your user account must have the Manage Connected App permission. Note: in your organization, your Salesforce admin might create the managed app for you.
Step 1. Create a connected application in Salesforce. Begin by creating a connected app so that your REST client can connect securely to your Salesforce org. From Setup, in the Quick Find box, enter Apps, and then click App Manager. In Lightning Experience App Manager, click New Connected App. Then, in the New Connected App page, specify the following basic information. Next, select the Enable OAuth Settings checkbox and specify the following settings. Callback URL. This example uses login.salesforce.com/services/OAuth2/callback. You can use the URL associated with your Salesforce org. For example, test.salesforce.com/services/OAuth2/callback. Selected OAuth scopes. Add the following OAuth scopes: Access Analytics REST API Resources, Wave API. Manage User Data via APIs, API. Save your settings, then click Continue to create the connected app. Click Manage Consumer Details. If prompted, provide the verification that was emailed to you, then click Verify. When creating the connected app, Salesforce generates two credentials, a consumer key and a consumer secret. These are the credentials you need later when you connect from your REST client to Salesforce via this connected app. Your consumer key will serve as your client ID. Your consumer secret will serve as your client secret. Keep this window open so that you can copy the consumer key and consumer secret later in this unit. Step 2. Allow username password flow for OAuth 2.0. In this module, you'll use a username password flow for authentication. From Setup, in the Quick Find box, enter OAuth, and then click OAuth and OpenID Connect settings. Ensure Allow OAuth username password flows is on.
Step 3. Set up authentication in the REST client. Next, let's set up authentication in your REST client using the connected app credentials you just created. Authentication is required for access to the Einstein Prediction Service. Note: the following instructions use the Postman client, desktop app, as an example, but you can use any REST API client with comparable functionality. In Postman, create a new workspace if necessary. Then, create a new collection, optional but recommended, using a descriptive name. A collection stores all of your Einstein Prediction Service requests in a single place. Select the collection in the list, click Add Request, and then rename this request Authenticate. Next, configure the following params for the Authenticate request. Request type, change to Post. Request URL, specify login.salesforce.com/services/oauth2/token. Click the Body tab. Change the body type to xwww.form_encoded. Then add the following keys and values. Grant type, specify password. Client ID, copy and paste the consumer key from the connected app you created previously. Client secret, copy and paste the consumer secret from the connected app you created previously. Username, specify the username for the account associated with your DE Trailhead org. Password, specify the password for the account associated with your DE Trailhead org. Save the request, then click Send. If you configured your settings correctly, you should see a response that is similar to the following example. Note that security information has been intentionally obscured. Finally, complete the following steps. Copy the access token string and paste it somewhere for later. You need this to run API requests for Einstein Prediction Service. Copy the instance URL string and paste it somewhere for later. You need this for subsequent requests. Now you're ready to create and submit your REST API requests to Einstein Prediction Service.
Step 4. Get available prediction definitions. Let's begin by retrieving the list of all available prediction definitions in our org. Create a new GET request and name it Get Prediction Definitions. Configure the request using the following settings. Click the Authorization tab and configure the following settings. Authorization type. Select OAuth 2.0. Set access token. Paste the access token you saved from the previous step. Save the request, then click Send. If you configured your request settings correctly, you should see a response that is similar to the following example. Step 3. Get Prediction Definition Metadata. The response in Step 3 includes the URL for retrieving the metadata for the prediction definition you created in the previous unit. It should look similar to the following example. The prediction ID matches the one you saw earlier in Model Manager. Add a new GET request, name it Get Prediction Definition, and substitute this request string in the URL. Remember to include the instance URL. Also, configure the authorization settings, authorization type, and access token as before. Click Send and review the response. It should look similar to the following example. Step 6. Get models associated with a prediction. The response in Step 4 includes the URL for retrieving metadata for the model you deployed in the previous unit. It should look similar to the following example. Add a new GET request, name it Get Models, and substitute this request string in the URL. Remember to include the instance URL. Also, configure the authorization settings, authorization type, and access token as before. Click Send and review the response. It should look similar to the following example. Notice the field mapping list, which provides the list of fields in the model. We use these in the next step.
Step 7. Get predictions. Now that you've practiced interacting with the Einstein Prediction Service, let's get some predictions. Add a new request, name it Get Predictions, and configure the following params. Request type, change to Post. Request URL, specify instance URL /services/data/v55.0/smart-data-discovery/predict, where instance URL was returned from your authentication request. Configure the authorization settings, authorization type, and access token as before. For Add Authorization Request to, be sure to select Request Headers. Because this is a post call, we need to specify the request body. Click the Body tab and select the following options. Body type, select Raw. Body type request, select JSON. Add the request body in JSON format. Substitute your prediction definition ID with the prediction ID that you retrieved previously. A few notes about this request body. Raw data. Using the raw data type allows us to specify raw input values directly in the prediction request. There are two other types, records and record overrides, that you can use when the prediction is associated with a Salesforce object. However, our prediction is not affiliated with a Salesforce object. Column names, comma-separated list of names that the model expects as input variables. These correspond to the model field, name, element in the field mapping list returned in the response in Step 5. Rows,
comma-separated list of text values to send to the model. These are the input variables that the model uses to derive a prediction. Save your request, click Send, and review the response. It should look similar to the following example. The prediction.total value is the predicted sales per customer that the model calculated based on your input values. Next, copy and paste the following code into your request body, replacing what's there currently. Add your prediction ID, and then click Send.
The response should look similar to the following example. Prediction values might differ. The order of the predictions in the response match the order of the input values in the request body. Finally, let's also retrieve top factors and improvements in the response. Remove the second line of data, add the following lines to your request, and then click Send. In this request, max middle values enables the return of top factors, up to 2 in this example. Max prescriptions enables the return of improvements, up to 2 in this example. The response should look similar to the following example. In this response, the total represents the prediction value. The middle value section describes the 2 top factors returned for this prediction. In this example, when subcategory equals chairs and sales is 262, the effect is a reduction in the prediction by almost 731, minus 730.8852. When sales is 262, the effect is an increase in the prediction by about 245, 244.8200. For more information about other elements in the response, see Get Predictions in Salesforce Help. Review usage monitoring. Einstein Discovery monitors usage statistics in real time. To view usage statistics for your org, from Setup, in the Quick Find box, enter Discovery, and then select Usage. Einstein tracks REST API requests, along with other programmatic prediction requests, under Number of Prediction API calls run today.